In this video, I'm going to show you how to use our Team Skills Matrix. As with any of the other downloads from our site, first go to the Instructions tab. You can access it by going to the instruction sheet or by clicking on the I up here. We'll click on here and you'll see that there are some steps. It says before opening the file. I know that you won't see this until you actually open the file, but this is really before you can actually use the file. So you will have to close the file and follow these steps. You will right click on the file and then go to the properties section in the right click and select unblock here in the properties. This should only be for Windows users. Mac doesn't actually have this feature activated yet that I've seen, but this is going to enable the macro functionality. If you do not do this, you won't have the macros functioning and your sheet won't work the way it's supposed to. So take that step first and then reopen the sheet. Once you've done that, we can go into step 2 of setting up this Team Skills Matrix. To begin with, let's go to the tables and settings. Here, we have our skills categories. I do recommend you leave these 4. There is a reason. You'll see when we get to the skills register that these 4 categories capture most of what we would consider the different skill types, and it's really helpful to categorize them this way. But of course, you can just delete this stuff and set your own categories if you'd like. These are different from the actual skills. We'll show you that when we get to the skills register, but these are categories of skills. Then positions, obviously this would change based on your organization and what positions you have, and you can add or delete to this table as needed. And then lastly, the departments. So whatever department your team is divided into at your company. The proficiency score minimum is what you consider to be proficient on a scale from 1 to 5. So scale to 1 to 5, this is what's considered proficient. So if you set it to be a 3, then anybody that has a 3, 4, or 5 ranking would be considered proficient in that skill. If you set it to 4, only the 4s and 5s will be considered proficient, and that's going to come into play when we look at the dashboard. Right, now let's take a look at the skills register. In the skills register, this is where you would actually define what the individual skills are. So the skill type. So for example, if you're skilled in Microsoft Excel, ClickUp, PowerPoint, public speaking, graphic design, Python programming, this is where you would actually list out the individual skills you want to track, and then you would select a category. Now, this dropdown is controlled by that setting here. So whatever you put into this table is going to be what the options are for this dropdown. So you would put that here, and that's what you would categorize for those skills. You can build this list out as long as you want, and these formulas will apply down. If you want to add a new skill, I do recommend using these buttons here. As you see, I've kind of like taken the headings off to make it a cleaner feel and easier to navigate. That way there's no resizing and things like that. But if you want to delete something, you can just click delete selected skill. It'll prompt you. I'm going to say, no, I don't really want to do that. If you hit add new skill, it's going to basically make sure that you're putting it into the next available row for the table so that the formulas carry down. I'm going to delete that. Yep. All right. So once you've listed your skills and assigned the categories to them, then we're going to go to the team matrix. And the team matrix is where you would enter information for your team. Same thing. I recommend using the delete row and add row buttons to add a new person or to delete an existing row. And for each person, you would then assign what department. Just like with the previous dropdown, it's controlled by that table here in the settings. So departments here are going to list in the team matrix. Select your department, select your position, also coming from the dropdown, and then this is where you would rank that person across these skills that you've listed. So you see, it's important to work our way in a specific order because you have to define your position, define your departments, and define the skills in order to get to this point where you can actually assign all of those things to a specific person on your team. You would then rank, and this has automatic conditional formatting to do like a heat map where the dark green is your strongest skills, 5, and then going all the way down to a 1. You would do this for all of your people across all the skills. And as you add more skills, this will continue to grow out to the right, and you'll have more room to rank them across various skills. Now, after you've done this and you've set up your team matrix, so you have all your skills ranked, then you can go to your dashboard view. This is where it gets fun because from here, we can see our average skill level by category. We can see proficiency percentages based on the different categories. And remember, proficiency means 3, 4, or 5 based on the minimum score that we set in the settings tab. We can see all the individual skills, and we can see the skills distribution. So all the skills that we put in here, you see the scores for each individual skill, and then skills by department. Now this is with no filters, but what if I just want to see the Excel skills across the organization? So click on Microsoft Excel, and now you can see that the production team has a higher average Excel skill rating than the accounting team. Probably not how it would play out in real life. This is a technical skill, so it only fills in the technical bubble. It's a 100% technical skill, and the distribution is just Microsoft. But here you can see by department. Let's clear that off, and let's say we just want to look at a specific department. So I want to see the skills distribution for the marketing team. Now, the marketing team has an average skills proficiency of 2.8. We can see the distribution here across the different categories and the percentages and the exact distributions for each individual skill. So this is really helpful to be able to understand where your strengths and weaknesses are across these skills, and you can slice and dice by category, department, position, skill, or by individual. We'll do one last example here. Let's say if I want to look at Mr. Mark Edwards. So we can see his average skill level by category. We can see the proficiency percentages, and then the skills distribution on each individual skill for that one individual. So hopefully you find this helpful. There's a couple other little neat things here included. You can export this PDF, clicking this button right here. If you have any questions, refer back to the instructions or the instructional video that you're watching now. And also, if you have anything that's not covered here or need any assistance, you can click on this, and this takes you directly to email our support team. It's support@starkanalytics.com, and we will respond with any inquiries or questions you may have. Thanks, and have a great day.